Ukrainian forces are desperately trying to fend off the Russian military's offensive on the city of Bakhmut.
Russia has repeatedly launched attacks causing destruction across the city. Ukraine says it has no intention of withdrawing from the area. The intense fighting comes as new details emerge about a video that surfaced allegedly showing Russian troops executing a Ukrainian prisoner. CBS News foreign correspondent Imtiaz Tyab joins us now from Ukraine. Imtiaz, you spoke obviously with several members of Ukraine's military. Do you think that they can fend off this latest wave of Russian aggression? And what would happen if Bakhmut falls to Russian forces?
Jerika, Elaine, so good to be with you. Yeah, we visited a military outlook post, which is about a mile and a half from Bakhmut. You can see the city in the distance. We were looking down, and down below were Russian positions. And the men we spoke to there had fought on the ground in Bakhmut. And if you see some of that ground fighting in Bakhmut, it is brutal. That fight is being described as hell on earth. And when you look at those images, there's really no other way to describe it. And from what we're hearing from these men, they are determined to keep fighting. They are determined to prevent Russia from achieving this goal, which they've had for 7 months, to try to seize this town of Bakhmut and these two roads, which will access other parts of the Donetsk region, which is where I am now. So far, they have successfully been able to prevent that from happening, but there's a lot of pressure being put on the Ukrainian government to withdraw. They are losing a lot of men. They are losing a lot of weapons, and they are getting exhausted. And we have to remember that in some weeks from now, some sort of offensive is being planned, whether it's from Russia, whether it's from Ukraine. And we're hearing from U.S. military officials or U.S. And intelligence officials that there's a lot of pressure, or there's the potentiality that Ukraine could withdraw from Bakhmut, again, because of those reasons. Now, what would that mean? It would mean that Russia could start moving forward to towns like Chasiv Yar, which we were also visiting, where people there tell us that even though they know that there's a potential of Russia coming to their doorstep, they too are going to say. So a lot of defiance all around, but still questions as to what Ukraine will do about Bakhmut and whether they will withdraw.
Such incredibly high stakes surrounding that city. We're also learning more about the growing outrage following the release of a video allegedly showing the Russian forces executing a Ukrainian prisoner. What more do we know about the incident, and how are Ukrainian officials responding?
Yeah, outrage is a word that I would use. You have President Zelensky saying that they will find those who are responsible, and the word war crime is being described as to what we saw in that 12-second video. And it's a pretty grim video. You see a Ukrainian soldier there. He's standing there. He's smoking a cigarette. He's being asked questions. And he says, "Slava Ukraini," glory to Ukraine, before he is what it appears to be shot dead. It's a pretty grim, pretty stark video. We understand that the man in the video, his name is Timothy Shadura. He's from the 30th Mechanized Brigade. We understand that he went missing at some time in February in the Bakhmut region. We don't know when exactly this video was filmed. We don't know where exactly it took place, but it looks very much like an execution. And again, it's not only the Ukrainians who are outraged, it's really governments around the world who are outraged at what they saw. But again, the Ukrainians that we've been speaking to saying that they are going to resist Russia with everything that they can.
Imtiaz,
Elaine,
you've been on the ground for CBS now, covering this war for over a year. How is this trip different from previous ones?
You know, it's so interesting you should ask that question, Jerika. I think what I've observed is, as well as this defiance, as well as this strength that we see with Ukrainians from the very beginning of this war to now entering in the second year of this war, we're also starting to see the fatigue. People are tired. People, of course, miss their old lives, but they also know that this war is going to continue. And so everywhere we go, every place we visit, yes, you see that strength. And it is this deep, deep well of strength. but you are starting to see this exhaustion as well, and this understanding that this is a conflict that is likely to last a very long time, and this great Ukrainian resolve that we've all seen and been so inspired from is something they're going to need and to hold on to for possibly much, much longer. Jerika, Elaine.
Imtiaz Tyab, we thank you and the crew for your incredible reporting.